Get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Play fake. Mayfield.
Oh, wow.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Mayfield.
Oh, my
It's caught by OBJ.
I was standing right there, bro.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a 9-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Set, 180. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Okay. Alert, 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 alert. Okay.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first.
And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
Come on, brother.
Got it. 53, check 53. You go right next. Go right next.
Brought in left side by Snead. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Ready. 60 out low. Stay with your man.
In the slot.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards the pickup there.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And Jackson throwing once more. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight
Nah, bro.
Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 30.
Oh, that's dirty, man. It did me dirty.
Touchdown, Cleveland.
It did
From
me
one
dirty.
end zone to the other, 101 yards. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from the special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Let's go. Here we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Here we go.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. He's got his man, it's Andrews. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Jackson, option right. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, the Ravens will call on Sam Cook to punt it away.
Trust me, eh, buddy? I don't like.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 3-yard line.
From the gun, Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
Watch twins. Watch twins. Alert, alert. Alert, alert.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. 7-7, our score after one. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation.
Hey, let's get out the way.
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down.
It's caught inside the 25. That one goes for 30 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the
Jackson from the shotgun. And incomplete. Crisis averted.
It is not in the right spot. That's what it is. Hold on, baby. That's where I need you at, brother. That's where I need you at, my friend.
Almost picked. Instead, second down.
incomplete. Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Number 53, Mike 53.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Caught right side. It's Snead. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him, has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
Mayfield.
Oh, come
This will
on,
be
baby.
incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, Charles, while we have a moment, you know what we need to do here is give a nod to the new Hall of Famers who were brought into Canton and inducted on August the 3rd. Champ Bailey, Pat Bolin, Gil Brandt, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law, Kevin Mawai, Ed Reed, and Johnny Robinson, all part of the class.
Fantastic class. When you talk about guys who played at a top level, obviously they're Hall of Famers. But what I found interesting about it is you've got a great pass catcher, the best pass-catching tight end in history, in Tony Gonzalez. How would he like to work against this secondary? Champ Bailey and Ty Law at corner, Ed Reed and Johnny Robinson at safety. Good luck trying to get open against those four. What a matchup that would have been. But it was a terrific night for those gentlemen. Congratulations. And, of course, Ed Reed's bust will go down in history because they got the hair exactly right. And Ed had a ball up there in his Hall of Fame speech.
And remember, next year they're going to celebrate the centennial year of the NFL with a special class of 20. So get ready for those speeches.
I wonder if they'll do it like Johnny Robinson this year, who actually submitted a video instead of going up to the podium. And his speech was about 5 minutes long, which is probably about the right length. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Come on, baby. What's he gonna be, big fella? 31, boy. Two running backs. Got it.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield to throw it. Going for it all.
Today.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. 4th down, and on is Greg Joseph for the Browns field goal. From the left hash, this from 46. The kick by Joseph is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The throw there finding its way to Boyle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Jackson. And an alley to run. And now look at this.
Oh, my goodness, bro. I hate those triggers.
Plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. Check.
On 2nd and 1, Jackson over the middle here to Brown. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Caught by Snead over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Browns' 24-yard line.
Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's get there. Echo, echo. 58 is the mic. Let it go.
Jackson options out left. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Tucker down to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Less than 54 seconds. That's a lot of time. He still got time out.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just...
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Come on now.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Man, I got one. Check it out.
Lock in, please.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will get the lead up to 14. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock down and go to the locker room.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for Landry that time, and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
They don't show the same play twice, man.
Rashard Higgins in the final seconds of the first half as his guys are back within a single score. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 24-17.
We'll run the same thing twice anyway.
Joseph now to kick this one away.
Same play, Surge.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And how about this line out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. These offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Jackson now, 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Jackson now, throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
This will be caught once again by Brown. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. From the gun, it's Jackson. He is going to find Hill here. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, 39 yards, as the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield caught left side. It's Beckham. 23 yards the pickup there. Mayfield now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Mayfield off the play fake. Over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 39.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Mayfield on 1st down. That's out to Chubb, complete. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Oh, he may have gotten
you in that hard flat, baby.
Trying to dump it off underneath on the check down.
That's why you in that hard
Nearly
flat,
picked
buddy.
instead of tipped complete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
King. Check 48's the mark. Check. Ready? Mike.
4th down, Mayfield.
Woo,
That's to
smart
his
now.
running back, complete. And inside the 20
Yeah,
before
smart
he's
now,
brought
boy.
down. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11. Mayfield now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if you bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Check. 180.
On 3rd down, Mayfield.
Bang,
Closing
bang.
down goes
Boy,
Baker
let's
Mayfield.
get it.
Matt Judon in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
You got tight. You got tight right there. Check 26. Check 26.
From the 38, Jackson. And he rifles one incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Dante.
53's mine. Check 53's
Good.
mine.
Right.
From the gun, Jackson. Man open left side is Brown. They get only 4 that time as that
Are you
leads us to
kidding
a
me,
4th
bro?
down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up. His time is now run out on this 3rd quarter play.
You can't be that, dude.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
It's our time.
Now Chubb running right. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started. We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
He finds Beckham complete. And they work this out past the 25. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Mayfield completes it to Higgins. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
48, Mike. 48, Mike. Hey, watch the slant. 48. Real. Pistol. One touch.
Throwing again on second down. Mayfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, 68 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Joseph now to kick this one away.
Let's go, boy. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically. But it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway. And now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. Now Hill, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Jackson from the shotgun. Dancing to his left.
He's got a first. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
I knew he was going to fucking fumble.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Nick Chubb, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. How about the call to come with the blitz there in this situation?
And some of those calls happen just because of what they do on offense. So when they send out a number of people in the pattern, sometimes they just make a change on defense, say, okay, we'll come after you instead. And that's exactly what they did.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Check 41. I hope you brought your weapon.
Mayfield to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Back to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 of the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
And that touchdown means a decision has to be made. Do they kick the PAT and tie it up, or do they go for 2 and try to win it right now?
See you, little daddy.
And now they're going to go for 2 and a possible win as this crowd rises to make things difficult. They're going to try and run for it. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
That's they got a better team.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
They're not ready for this.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw.
What the fuck is this? Look at it. Oh, there we go. Oh, there.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a game where they got out to a pretty good-sized lead, and then they had to hang on for dear life at the end.
Not exactly how you would draw it up. You would continue to score and find ways to keep your lead pretty well throughout the game. But they did find a way to win, as you noted. Hung on at the end as the big rush came at them. Fortunately enough, they put enough points on the board to have enough of a cushion that they were able to survive what happened in the 4th quarter.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.
I do know one thing, though. I got to work on getting depth with my linebacker user. Because if you don't, that's your ass. Oh man, that's funny. 18 for 23. 218 yards. 8 carries for 90 yards. 2 other rushing attempts for 18 yards. A little over 100 though. 8 carries. 3 fumbles though, bro. It's sad. Personally, I think they need to fix that, bro. Like, some quarterbacks carry the ball more than others. They're not gonna fumble the ball 3 times off of 8 carries, man. Bit insane. Fucking Hogan Joby got a sack. Tell you who didn't get a sack though. Motherfucking